Welcome to the All About Real Estate Marketing podcast. My name is Nina Doiron and I'm your host. If you're a real estate professional or investor, this is the podcast for you. I think you'll agree with me that a house is likely the largest financial asset for the majority of the population. And like any other product, it needs to be marketed in order to attract the right buyers so that it can sell faster and sell for more. So the objective of this podcast is really simple. It's to share with you the greatest marketing strategies and tactics in order to help you set your property apart from its competitors, and of course, ultimately to help you grow your real estate business. Hi, welcome back to the All About Real Estate Marketing podcast. So I recently read an article titled Brown Don't Sell. Interesting title, right? Catchy. And anyway, it speaks to the dark and heavy antique furniture that some of our clients have, right? You know it, you've seen them before. Well, years ago, our parents and our grandparents' generations would save up and buy these beautiful pieces of furniture that they would use, they intend to use for the rest of their lives, and most do, right? And their hope is that they would be able to pass them on to the next generation when they're done with them. However, the sad truth is that this generation no longer wants them, and they can't seem to give the stuff away. Like, I can't even tell you how many times I've come across clients where they tell me, please tell my mom and dad I don't want their stuff. Anyway, this article speaks about a family who called a very well-known auction house to come and assess a George V game table and chairs that they had bought back in 2006 for about $10,000. When he purchased it, he said, I love this piece so much. I know everyone is going to love this. But when they went to this well-known auction house, what the auction house told them was shocking. The auction house told them that it would only sell for likely about $1,200 now. Remember, they purchased this for $10,000 back in 2006. So this is a very common occurrence. When I work with clients preparing to sell and I tell them that they declutter and move out most of their heavy antique furniture, they just don't understand it. They don't understand why I'm telling to do this, and some get pretty upset about it. And if they are downsizing, then they would like to sell them. Some of them would say, thinking that the piece that they've invested in have increased in value over time. But often the opposite is true. They are usually shocked when I tell them that they would likely get pennies to the dollar for these lovingly collected and treasured items. And it's one thing, and I often have to remind them that it's one thing to have something appraised at a certain value, but it's entirely different to find a buyer who would be willing to pay the price for it. And just as an example, just a quick story. Recently, I was working with a client to help her declutter and downsize, and she had a beautiful set of ornately carved bedroom setting, and there was some kind of like ivory inset to the headboard as well. And we had put the set on MaxSold. And if you don't know about MaxSold, it's an online auction platform where everything that is put up for sale on MaxSold starts at a bid of $1. Okay, so like we even had a car on there and it started at $1. And this ornately carved bedroom set didn't even fetch $1. No one wanted it. No one bid on it. Can you believe that? So it's hard for the generation that so lovingly collected these treasures to pass on, to understand that these items are of little value and worse, that their children and grandchildren don't even want. So when you're working with a listening client, explain this to them and explain that what today's buyers want in order for them to understand and be willing to prepare their house to appeal to that modern audience. If they are still resistant, have them store the items at an off-site location to deal with later. I recommend bringing in a move manager or professional stager to explain this to them. Some will even be able to help them find a buyer and a new home for some of these items. As the article says, brown don't sell, and the modern buyers want new and fresh. So you need to be able to convince your clients to allow you to move some of these pieces out so that you can bring in more contemporary pieces to appeal to today's buyers. Help to keep your clients' goals in mind and remind them that doing so will help them to sell more quickly and sell more successfully so that they can get to wherever they want to go to faster. It might be to a retirement community or to be close to their children and grandchildren, right? Just make sure that they understand that goal and keep that goal top of mind. And remember this, a house is like any other product. And this is something that you have to explain to your clients a little bit more, I'm sure, especially ones that have been living in the same house for decades. And it's not just a house, it becomes a product when you're putting it up for sale. And it needs to be packaged, merchandised, and marketed to the target audience. Unless the target audience is the same generation as your client, brown won't sell. So I hope you found this episode to be helpful. And please don't forget to comment and share if you like this episode and the show. I would be so grateful. If you have any questions, please send me an email anytime. Until next time, take care now. Bye-bye. Thank you for listening to this latest episode of the All About Real Estate Marketing podcast. If you like this episode and the All About Real Estate Marketing podcast, don't forget to subscribe, like, comment, and of course share. If you have a tactic that works well and would like to be a guest on our show, reach out to me via email. My email is in the description. If you would like to learn more about real estate marketing and staging, visit my website, also in the description, to find out when the next Staging to Sell What Every Agent Should Know class is scheduled for. Marketing doesn't have to be complicated. In fact, it's quite simple, so long as you make it all about the buyers. So until next time, take care.